with Cristopher Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Hello.
He is a young media investigator. So tell us, with Cristopher, what is the main issue in your career, because you study interactive media?
Yeah, well, indeed, I studied interactive media, and when I started to study, the job that, what I'll be when I finish the study, it wasn't there yet. So this industry is very new, and there's happening, a lot in the social media, sphere, in the atmosphere, because it's changing, every month, basically. So that's also one of the big challenges, because it's changing so fast. You need to update yourself, all the time, to actually, be a social media expert, as they call it. And it's really difficult because there aren't a lot of people who really understand social media. Neither do I, because it's so big that you need to specialize yourself in how do you're using social media, actually.
Yeah, but you're not necessarily just for use media, but you are interested in how media impact different sectors.
Yeah, what I did was I made a documentary. It's called the Social Media Safari, and what I did is actually made a few case studies of how social media impacted several sectors. So I looked at how social media impacted the NGOs, charities. I looked at how people are using social media to have video successes of themselves by using platforms like YouTube or Vimeo, for example. And you see all these different successes and cases coming up by with this social media, which I find very interesting because it's changing really a lot of businesses.
Yeah. And in your research, what have been the most the bigger impact, the social media, in which sector? In ONG, what?
Well, I think social media started to have a very big impact on the music industry.
Yeah.
Actually, social media is a lot more than Twitter, Facebook, and it's about connection. And that when the internet started, you had things like, well, in the early days you had Kazaa, and you had these downloading programs that music was shared through friends. So I think they are the first to have felt the impact of social media. Afterwards, of course, you see the film industry would follow, the publishing industry, and I think now actually, because all this content is on the web and is on different platforms, I think the broadcasting industry must have felt it as well.
Yeah.
So and this only in the media. I think other businesses have felt a big impact as well.
Yeah.
If you take example for people always talk about your business. They always did, but now they've got a platform to share it, and you can either choose to leave at the just leave it, or you could say, okay, how can social media help me to reach my new audience, or help them solve their problems, for example.
Yeah. But with these new possibilities of new media, we can talk about the new competence of for young people.
Yeah.
What do you think? This must be this new competence, the new skills that young people must manage to interact and to take the best profit of the new media.
Well, I think that you really need to understand and have a different mindset, that you need to keep update yourself, that you need to have more skills than just, in the older days, which I never experienced. But you go to school, you'd learn a profession, for example, journalism, and you'd be working at a newspaper, for example. Yeah. At the moment, I asked several people also, who are active in my in the social media safari, and they all come with the same answer, saying, "Okay, we're not looking to people who are looking." Let me do that again. We're not really searching for people who can, write an idea, or we've got storytellers. Yeah. We know. People who can ensemble stories, that's not really interesting anymore. We're actually looking at people who can, tell a story across platforms, you know, so journalists, for example, who, you know, understand how to use social media, can produce videos, can, you know, talk a bit on the radio.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Christopher.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.